jump on in, grab a seat. All right. So one more time, how are y'all doing this morning? Good. Awesome. Thank you all for being here this week. My name is Jordan Carla. I'm one of the organizers here for 1 Million Cups. How many of you are new to 1 Million Cups this week? Never been before. Raise your hands high. Be proud. Awesome. Well, welcome. We're glad that you're here. How many of you have been here 5 times? How about 10? How about more than 30? There's definitely a few. Awesome. So thank you, new folks. Thank you, folks who are here week in and week out. We appreciate the support, and we're glad that you're here to support entrepreneurship in the state of Little Rock. For those of you who have not been, this is a weekly educational event where we have an entrepreneur or someone who's supporting entrepreneurial efforts in the community come and talk about their story, why they're passionate about what they're working on, and learn more about what their business is doing, and gives us an opportunity to engage in Q&A and feedback and help them grow in the Little Rock area. I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors, the Venture Center and Tech Park Space, Little Rock Chamber for constant promotional support and helping us get this thing started in the city. Also, I'd like to point out to our organizers, Mike Steely with Sparkle and Nicholas Norfolk with CDOTS Media for helping with some of the social media and stuff like that. And also Susie Cowan with Legends of Arkansas, which is a wonderful festival happening September 19th. We're super excited for that. So all these people, we couldn't do it without them, and we're very thankful. Last but not least, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Kauffman Foundation. They're the organization that started the program, and we wouldn't have this opportunity if it weren't for them, and them allowing us to have this charter. The way that all this got started, though, is actually from somebody who's working at Kauffman, and they have this theory that ideas are really started over conversations when you're having a drink with someone, whether it's a cup of coffee in the morning, or in the afternoon, or beers and drinks after work. Those are the times when you really start to become comfortable with that person, and ideas start to bounce. You start getting those collisions, thinking differently, and opening up to potential opportunities. And that's what this is all about. And so we're here to listen to what these entrepreneurs are doing, and then give them feedback and open up suggestions and things like that. So before we get started today, though, there's something different about this week. So go ahead and pick that out. So this week we have a breakfast sponsor, and I would say that they've done an amazing job. I already had 3 or 4 people walk in. Damn, this place is nice. and you know, this place is cool, but I don't think we often get that first reaction. People are like, oh, this is amazing. You know, basic food, spread everything. So I'm going to welcome on Sharmel. Sorry, I had trouble pronouncing that, but with Ego Social Events, and she's going to tell us quickly about what we have for breakfast and some of the cool stuff.
Thanks so much. My name is Sharma Purcell, and I have a business called Echo Social Events. So we do weddings and anniversaries and birthday parties and graduation celebrations and baby showers, and also business breakfasts and business lunches. So we try to do zero-waste events, which means that when we're through an event, there's no trash left behind. We take the leftover organic matter and take it to a community garden with our compost bin. We recycle the paper and the plastic if there is any. We work with local gardens, local farms, local dairies, local ranches, local forests. We try to support the local economy because we think that that's important for our community. So there's lots of food in there. So if you haven't already picked some up before the meeting started, get some afterwards. There's 2 types of coffee. There's Tall, Dark, and Handsome, which is a dark roast, and then there's Wake Up Joe, which is a medium roast. There are some vintage coffee pots in there. So there are cards with a menu of everything that you're having today, and on the back there's some information about why we do things locally. And we spent about 2 or 3 years collecting all of the vintage plates, stemware, coffee cups, forks, etc., they don't match, cloth napkins, and we've done weddings in barns, baby showers in greenhouses, so we take the party to the people. So thank you so much for letting us serve you breakfast today.
So don't be afraid to dig in after the presentation and discussion is over today. And also don't be afraid to use some of the plates and mugs and stuff like that. We're all about saving the environment, not using all the styrofoam cups. All right, so now let's get ready for our presentation today. But before, I want to briefly say, I've gotten to know Todd through different kind of points of engagement in the community. He's worked with startups, he's funded startups. He's worked for one of the most best startup success stories in Laura and Axiom. And you know, when I moved back here, I started kind of hearing rumblings about this Todd Gear guy who was about to work on something big, something cool. And you know, he actually started some stuff and was in and out of the chamber a lot. And I was like, what's this guy doing? And so I'm really happy to welcome you on today because this is the first time I think our community is going to be really exposed to a really amazing thing that he's bringing to Little Rock. So Todd, let's give Todd a warm welcome.
You guys are glad to hear me okay? All right. Since I don't have to talk very loud, may have this too high. How long have you been doing making cups?
A little over a year, about 14 months.
Okay. I think I came to the first one in several stints. What I was working on at the time was not so much me trying to keep it a mystery, as I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. I wanted to do something, and I had 2 or 3 different initiatives I was in the process of trying to get off the ground, and things don't always go as you expect, so I wasn't sure which one was going to happen. So this is what happened. So I'm here today to talk to you about our great company, SpotRight. I have 3 things really I want to tell you. One, I'll give you a quick overview on us as a company, and on who SpotRight is. I'll tell you why we exist, a little bit about our problem space, and then I'll go a little bit deeper on what we do. Because we're a B2B company, we sell to basically the Fortune 1000 companies. We're not a B2C brand. Chances are great that none of you will ever have the chance to make a decision to acquire what it is we sell. But there could be a point in your life where you get a chance to recommend us to somebody else. So it's a great pleasure to be here. Jordan told me I had 6 minutes, so I think I've already gone over that. So may take me a little longer. All right, so I'll jump into who we are, and because this is an Arkansas-based company, I'm assuming that probably most, not all of you have heard of Axiom. So I'll introduce us first by way of, I don't know if this is an analogy or a simile or a metaphor, or just how those things in, but so if Axiom and Twitter got together and had a little bitty social data baby, it would probably look a lot like SpotRight. So we are a social data and analytics company, and we sit squarely at the intersection of 4 very high market sectors right now, which is a really good place to be. We sit in the middle of analytics, big data, marketing technology, and then of course social. So while we are an early stage company, and I think very appropriate for this forum, we're not technically a startup because our heritage lineage actually goes back about 5 years. Our founders started a social cause-based marketing company that leveraged the viral effect of consumers being connected to each other to support certain fundraising activities. And they work with a lot of nonprofits. So I'll give you a little history of SpotRight. So we started as a company called Givio. The founders quickly realized that there was a whole lot more value in the data that was passing through their platform and that they were collecting than there was in the application itself. Plus, you know, nonprofits don't have big budgets for technology, and the data margins were pretty thin. So, as good business people do, they pivoted, and they pivoted into and merged with another company called Spot Influence. And both of these guys were local-based companies. Spot Influence was a Techstars company. Some of you guys that follow the startup scene, Techstars and Y Combinator, you know, pretty famous across the nation. Techstars was a social influence and technology company. And so the combination of having deep technology and some great business minds and some marketing minds together really birthed what became SpotRight. And so they spent the next couple of years building out the technology and the data asset. It was really hard work, stitching together in large part of a social graph, which leveraged the communications that you and I make between ourselves and social, and the fact that consumers they express their interest in a user-generated content or kind of a hand-raising type of way. So I might express my interest in brands like Coca-Cola, and I might express my interest in certain topics or other categories like TV shows, American Idol, or pop stars like Lady Gaga. That's right. So about it was a couple of years after they got broken. I came across these guys while I was at Axiom. Got to know the company, got to know the people. Really liked both a lot. Got together with the CEO last year. This represents New Beginnings. CEO and I put together an investment group starting at the end of last summer and recapitalized the company and put enough cash in the bank to really fuel us for the next phase of growth. We saw the market coming together at a great time. That really coalesced with what they had built over time. They actually had entered the market early, which was fine because it took a couple of years to actually build out the platform and the asset, and we both felt like the time was right. So we have since put the pedal to the metal and started our path on the New Beginnings here. So a bit of advice that I got from many and knew from experiences, first thing you do is you start with the right people. And it's really important to assemble a group that you know and trust and you like, because you're going to spend a whole lot of time with these people. And I did some quick math, and we had great people in the company in SpotRight already. We brought in another group, in fact, opened the Little Rock office this year, and we hired just as many people in Little Rock as we have in Boulder now. I did the math, and we have over 100 years combined experience. So you young folks in the audience probably look at me and look at us and think this is a day at the office, but we prefer this book. We have one of our superheroes. I actually thought you were going to be here, but the Black Widow, Pharrell Wilson, is in charge of marketing. She's in the room. So as cool as we are, and that is, we also have connected to the coolest cities in America. We started in Boulder. We've now brought Boulder to Little Rock, and Little Rock to Boulder. We got those guys a hog flag to fly proudly in their office. We agreed that we could each name each other's conference rooms, so they will end up with, like Possum Grave, Bald Knob, Winter Holler, and interesting Arkansas term for their conference rooms. So we're really proud to have been able to open the Little Rock office and start hiring here in Arkansas. So that's a quick overview on us, and a few of the maybe more interesting tidbits. And let me tell you why we use this. Talk about our problem space. And this is an overused quote that I'm sure you guys have seen it 10 to 20 times, but it really does fit the space that we're in. This guy, John Wanamaker, I don't know when he actually made this quote or whether he actually even did. He's attributed the quote, but He died almost 100 years ago, so this is way back. And 100 years ago, he said, half of what I spend is wasted. The problem is I just don't know which half what I spend on advertising. If that was a problem then, you can think about what's changed in the world of marketing in 100 years, in the world of consumer engagement, and the answer is, everything. We think about what we learned from Cheers, and people want to go where everybody knows their name. You guys remember the song that we sang in your head. Consumers, and that's what marketers care about, people that actually like their brand and get an affinity from the brand and ultimately buy the products. They want to be treated as people, as individuals, not just a number. They want to be presented with offers that are relevant to them and not be bothered with offers that are irrelevant. Marketers have the same interest. They want to engage you as an individual. They want to be able to connect with you and draw some relationship with you. Problem is there's a lot of you. And back in the days of Bob's Hardware, you walked in and they knew what you new preferences and lived down the street. When the new benches came in, they would call and say, hey, we got the new benches, we think you'd like them, come into the store. All that has changed. And if you think about the one-maker days, the mill was delivered by homes. There were 28 million marketable people walking around the United States, probably most of which didn't get more than 2 miles from their house their entire lifetime. Then you jump forward 150 years. Then you think about what Times Square represents, all the noise and static in the system. And there's 240 million people that are marketable nowadays, and most of those have multiple technology devices and multiple email addresses, and there are hundreds of television channels and countless websites and social networks. It's really created all this noise in the system and all this complications for marketers to really get that direct connection with you as a consumer. And from noise, static in the system comes a lot more waste. So whether it's 50% wasted or 90% wasted, I think we can confidently say that marketers wasted a lot of money trying to get the right message to you. So that's in essence the space. There's a lot of waste, to spend, and marketers want to spend their time trying to recognize you as who you are, or at least in a segment or class of people that looks appealing to them, the offer that they have. So I'll give you a quick primer. This is way more simplified. Bear with me. And then I'll kind of hit the climax by telling you where we fit in this space. So if you think about the marketing ecosystem, and we jumped from 1860s when the Pony Express ceased to exist, and Wanamaker is quoted in there somewhere. And then the 1950s, that's the era in which the direct marketing industry was attributed to kind of in birth, where marketers wanted to put something in your mailbox that was of interest. It's turned into an $85 billion industry, which is by any measure huge. That's the US only. It has become the centerpiece for the entire marketing ecosystem, and it really gets back to being able to know who you are as a human being. It's a very mature industry, as you would expect, over the last 60, 65 years. The consumer ID, the way we contact people logically is name, address, often landline. Then you jump forward to the 90s, so you had many years of where marketing basically represented broadcast media. You had 3 television channels and somebody in the household, or you walked in the store. Still pretty simple times. Get into the 90s, internet's on the scene, email starts to rise as a communication vehicle between people and businesses, and ultimately as a marketing channel where companies are willing to put some investment and use it to try to convince you that their brand is worth liking marketing of products that we're buying. That's turned into about a $2 billion industry, still growing at double digits. And an email address, obviously, is the ID that's used for that. I'll come back to the ID in some moment. Then the 2000s brings in display media. World Wide Web explodes. We had the pop-up banners, the pop-up banner blockers, and companies moved to banner advertising, and it's really become a marketing vehicle. 20 billion plus industry, growing at 30% every year, and ultimately the cookie has become the facto consumer ID. And you guys know if you buy boots at Cabela's or shoes at Zappos, you show up at Yahoo to check your stock, and then all of a sudden you get the pop-up that shows the shoes that you were looking at. There's a tracking device that is enabled by the fact that a cookie now is associated with you as a person. Then you jump forward to the 2010s, and just in the last few years, we've seen a great explosion there with mobile devices, and everybody has a smartphone, including tiny kids, and social networks are on the scene. Facebook goes public, Twitter goes public. $3 billion industry now has emerged from that as a marketing channel. And social IDs and mobile device IDs become the de facto communication consumer ID. So what I'm taking on this, if you look at the IDs, the $85 billion industry of direct marketing, which by the way is growing about 1% a year in the US, which doesn't sound much until you put it in real dollar terms. And it's almost $1 billion a year, still in the direct marketing industry. Until smart people, data technology companies figured out how to wire email addresses back to people, and postal addresses and phone numbers, or once that happened, put it positive, that's when email sprang up really as a viable marketing channel, connecting that back to something with a lot of substance like the direct mail world. Similar thing happened with cookies. Smart companies like Axiom figured out how to tie cookies back to something they could know and use and market to and collect. That industry has gone crazy. And we're seeing a similar pattern emerge around the social and mobile. And that's where SpotRight fits in. So we connect a lot of that connectivity between what happens in the world of user-generated content, social marketing, social networking, and the rest of the marketing ecosystem. And we think we're going to see a similar explosion, and in fact, could be better with the use of mobile devices and social networking as we've seen in the last few years, last 10 years or so in addition. And I'll bring this home. So overall, this represents about a $250 billion market in the US alone, where companies are spending money to try to convince you to buy their products. There's about half of that is considered to be targeted. So targeted means that they're able to address a message to you as a person or you in a class of people. So they get pretty specific about what those messages are, like the boots in your basket. Data analytics is what you use to power the intelligence or the targeting. So that's about an $11 billion market or industry. And that's really the playground in which we're a data analytics company. Not that we will capture the entire 11 billion, but we'll take a tiny little slice of that and be pretty happy. So I mentioned we're an early stage company. We've done great work for great brands. We're really proud of the work we've done. We work with Fortune 1000 brands, not because we're snobby in ways, because they have big needs. They use tens of millions of data records, to power their data analytics. That's really our sweet spot. Is when the data gets really big, we have an opportunity to take that big data and make it really small down to the second level. So we're really proud of the work we've done, but we know we've got really a lot of work ahead of us with our new beginnings. We've really only just started. So with that, that's me. My marketing director said if we can give you a chance to follow us on Twitter. Also on the board there, so it will remain. So please follow SpotRight, please follow us. One question I know Jordan's going to ask me, so I just wanted to put a slide in here, is what can you guys can help us? So I thought of three things that I think are important, not really just for us, but for the entire Arkansas startup community and ecosystem. One is we've had a really challenging time finding qualified technical talent. And qualified for us is really forward-thinking, forward-looking developers and technologists that are into new big data types of technology. So on one hand, if you have referrals that you can provide to us and all the other companies out there, it doesn't matter what kind of company you have, you're going to have some technology needs at some point. So keep that in mind. And as a corollary to that, any programs that you have the ability to turn away behind in the state, it's going to be really important for us to think about that early on. Education, all the way from elementary school through college, any ways that we can attract talent to the state. Those are really, really important things for all of us, specifically, but I think that's important for the startup community in general. Also, I would say, throw your weight behind efforts like you obviously are by coming to BDC each week, but efforts in the community to support early stage companies, whether that's as an investor or a mentor, programs that you start. I can tell you with great confidence, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for AEDC and ADFA at the state level. Innovate Arkansas, super great program that provided us a lot of help. All the mentors along the way, the BDC, the Little Rock Chamber, the Conway Chamber, the system that has developed based on a lot of your efforts over the last few years is just phenomenal. And again, we wouldn't have had a chance if those programs were in place. I guess the final thing is that if you've got the connections in Fortune 1000 companies, like that, referrals or introductions. All right, and time for questions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Todd. Give great Todd a round of applause. All right, so now the even funner parts. Questions. So before you ask a question, please state your name and what you do. That way, folks watching on the live stream can know this.
My name is Ray Smith. I'm an entrepreneur. My only question is, which superhero was you?
I'm not going to answer that.
I
try to keep my identity. Tony Stark.
Hi, Joe Calhoun here. Welcome. Do you have rely on proprietary technology, or is it just successful competition?
Proprietary technology for successful competition. You mean as far as our internal technology?
Right. How are you making your place in the market and staying up the competition and succeeding?
Yeah, so we can't claim success yet that we have closed deals, but our technology is pretty special. We find ourselves in a category that's pretty new, which is good and bad. We come in and we don't have a lot of competitors, but we also have to educate our buyer quite a bit. Because the team spent so long building up great technology and data assets, and in fact we've estimated it would take somebody about 15 years to recreate what we've created because of certain things that have shifted and changed in the market. We think that provides us a real competitive advantage. The other thing, which we consider a unfair advantage of ours is because we've assembled so many industry veterans with 100+ years of experience. Over time, you build out a relationship network that's pretty significant. So it's not that we can get a meeting with anybody we want, but through our network, we tend to know a lot of people who know a lot of people. So that certainly helps, and it's a real credibility starter, at least in a client discussion, where you bring experienced people at the table that were recommended by somebody that they trust. So I would say those two things. Technology, we got a head start in the market with it, and then the experience of our team.
Yeah, my name is Wes Porter. I'm a mechanical engineer. I had a couple questions about the time like they do for natural products. State your analytics.
Yeah, well, I was dreading the inevitable technology question. Yes, so we use modern big data technologies. We use Hadoop as our primary data holder. We use Silver as a search layer on top of that. We integrate Cassandra. Spark is a new technology that we're looking at, and you just exhausted all the words that I know. So I'll keep on.
Next question.
I do know a little bit more than that. My background, I was a developer for many years, and now I'm a recovering lawyer, and coming down into the business side, so I've forgotten just about everything I ever learned.
Well, this is Freddie again. One question is, how are you doing from Adobe Analytics?
Say it again, sorry.
How are you doing from Adobe Analytics?
I don't know that much about Adobe Analytics, though we consider Adobe and Oracle and Salesforce and IBM and the marketing cloud guys to be good potential partners of ours. Where we figure out that we typically fit with those guys is they have an analytics suite that covers most of the data types and most of the channels, but social tends to be a gap for them. And so when I was referring to the connectivity piece, we're able to come in and connect what they already do, which is typical in most cases, to the world of social. It opens them up to a whole new type of analytics. So while we consider ourselves to be an analytics company, and then we use analytics to create our data asset, we don't sell analytics as a true product. So I would say we take our data and our insights that we would feed into Adobe would power their analytics versus us actually competing head-to-head with their analytics. Any of that makes sense.
There's Richard Mitch.
Exactly.
Todd, how would you describe in a short, brief way your ideal target customer?
Ideal target customer for us, I'll put it in a couple of categories. So one is large agencies, full service or digital agencies. Those have kind of risen up as a key customer for us because they represent so many large brands and have so little capabilities around the space that we're in. And they're seeing a lot of their customers, their clients today asking about, what about this world of social, and how about time of social and marketing campaigns? So we've identified agencies as a whole segment that we go after individually, as a category of clients. Another key client for us, generally put, is a Fortune 1000 company that spends a lot of money on marketing and has a large, viable consumer population that they're going after. A challenge that we face in social is while there's a lot of people in social, there's a whole lot more people that are marketable candidates. And so we get a subset of marketable people that actually show up in our system in social. So it takes a really large data starting point to get down into something really interesting to drive. So large brands, big customer bases, and agencies are key to us. Any others?
Hey, Chad Williamson. I'm curious about you started with the who we are slide, so I'm curious about how you cultivate your own culture and what culture means to you. I don't know how many employees you have, but talk to me about culture in the company.
Yeah, sure. Culture is one of those things that happens whether you mean for it to or not. So a lot of culture happens based on how people act and how people are permitted to act in your organization. We have not officially put in a framework that says this is who we are, that you can go to our website and get a lot of the elements of that. High integrity is real. So one of the things that was interesting to her when she joined the company. She read a little summary that talked about how we approach our market and our work very humbly. So there's an element of where we try to take egos out of it. We try to keep open communication, direct. We hire people that probably are going to disagree with us a lot and maybe vehemently, but we do it very respectfully. And we think that kind of iron sharpens iron approach really drives better decisions. So that's kind of a non-answer to your question, but a little bit of the aspects of what we're trying to do. And I would say it starts with, you got to get the right people in the company, and to know who the right people are, you've got to have an idea of what that company looks like. And I would say for us, just very basically, it starts with really high integrity, really capable people.
I got one more question. How do you combat like fake accounts? Social media, social media.
Yeah, that's a problem in every media. Fake email addresses, fake postal addresses, fake accounts. We go through a little rigor around data quality, and then our ability to match our data back to other data sets. So it gives us a little bit of a triangulation on, is this a real person or is this fictional? It's an imperfect science, so it'll get better over time.
We have time for a couple more questions. Anyone has one? Okay, I have a question. Are there any emerging trends in the social analytics space that you see as like a new opportunity that you're not maybe currently focused on, but maybe something that you could develop a new product around or a new bolt on to your product?
Yeah, so yes, so we have several things that we haven't gotten to yet. If our product showed up, he would be found on the table saying we need to go faster. One thing that we've seen with social as an interesting medium is because people are multi-device now. They're sitting there watching American Idol or The Voice. They're actually interacting with that show in real time, and sometimes across multiple devices. I have two daughters, and they have a smartphone and an iPad and a laptop. They're watching TV, and they're Snapchatting with friends, and they're not so much into tweeting about American Idol, but a lot of people do. We see social as an interesting vehicle for analytics and even a direct way for measurement of performance. We did one, in fact, we've now done 4, I guess, kind of proofs of concept around benchmarking what a particular segment of people is saying about a topic or a brand. And then the company runs a television campaign, and then we start watching how that conversation changes based on that campaign. And that's a real interesting real-time feedback loop that without this, without the role of user-generated content, really doesn't exist, because we think about how it was done historically, survey panel or Nielsen ratings has their own panel, and they call people, what are you watching for, what do you think? I mean, this is people telling you in real time what they think about things. And I think that starts to emerge as a really interesting area for social that we plug into.
All right, let's give it up for Todd one more time. Todd, remind us one more time, what are those 3 things that we can help you with?
All right. I'll see if I can pull those out again. We need tech talent, support Arkansas, and the startup community, bringing talent to the state and all that, and the referrals of the Fortune 1000 companies.
Awesome, thank you, Todd. Real quick, before we go and enjoy some more of the awesome eco social stuff, I want to ask somebody who's here, Glenna Cook, where are you? Raise your hand. So Glenna did something very brave last week. She was in Kansas City, and she's one of the first 1 Million Cups Little Rock presenters to go up to Kansas City and present her company, which is in front of 300 plus people. And so I want to bring you up here real quick. If you don't mind, just telling us in a few short sentences what that was like and what maybe other presenters might look forward to.
Go. I'm really serious. It was wonderful. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I have to compliment you, Jordan. I think you do even a better job running Little Rock than they do. They're very tight. You have exactly 6 minutes to present. You have a clock watching you, so you better do that. They have people prepared with questions. They can talk to you before they have people prepared. So if the audience does not take over, they people that work with the organization do, and they have sharp questions. They know exactly what they're doing. Fortunately, we were very fortunate. We had 2 questions from there, and we ran out of time before the rest of the questions went. We spent an hour and a half afterwards talking. It was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Once you present, you can do this anywhere there is a little cup organization. And it's worth applying to go to them if you can. Now, don't plan on doing it on when you're there. They will give you their time. Plan to be able to go. We got our call 1st of June, and no, the last May, and they said, what do you want? Fortunately, we had June, Wednesday, we could go, but you have to work with them. But going to Kansas City is a real highlight. It's a real wonderful experience. But any of them, I think, would be, because it gives your company an opportunity to reach more people, to get more ideas, to get more openings, to get more advice and more help. So do it. I really do.
You're right. On that note, Hoffman actually has some really big news that they have coming out, and I'm going to invite one of our other organizers, Nicholas Norfolk, to tell us a little about what's going on.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I was at Kansas City at the 1 Million Cups Organizer Summit. This was in May. And they talked about this program at my launch, and it's actually launching next week. But we have, it's called 1 in a Million. It's for, you'll see the video, it's like a minute and a half or about 2 minutes. But basically, it's a competition for anyone that's presenting 1 million cups. So basically, think of like March Madness style, where the different stars are competing against each other, and then it'll be like this big deal during Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is in November, and it'll be in Kansas City. So here's the video.
What does 1 in a million look like? Have you ever seen it? Does it look like this? Or this? If you've ever presented at a 1 million cups gathering held every week in more than 70 locations across the country, then maybe 1 in a million looks like you. This year, for the first time ever, open exclusively for 1 million cups entrepreneurs, the 1 in a Million Startup Showdown will be a featured event during Global Entrepreneurship Week. 1 in a Million was created to provide educational resources to entrepreneurs and showcase some of the stellar startups in the 1 Million Cups community. 15 finalists will be selected to come to the Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation in Kansas City on November 17th and 18th, where they will receive coaching and gain valuable insights to sharpen their startups. The top 5 startups will be selected to take the stage for a first of its kind Wednesday morning presentation that will be streamed live to all 1 million cup sites across the country. The winning startup takes home $10,000. Here's what you need to know. Your startup must have presented at 1 million cups before August 2nd, 2015. Your startup must be younger than 5 years old and based in the United States. Your startup should have plans to grow with a scalable and disruptive business model. Don't wait to submit your company for this nationwide competition. 1 in a million will accept applications through August 7th. That's it. Actually, there's more to it. So visit us on the web to learn more about how your startup can become 1 in a million.
That's a pretty cool opportunity. And like I said, Kaufman's a wonderful organization, so we're super thankful we're part of that. And that's it for this week. So we'll see y'all next week and dig into some awesome breakfast. Thanks for coming.